Howdy folks, LP Guru here signing in for Let's Play Final Fantasy 1 Episode 13. And as always, we're going to be picking up right where the previous episode ended. Checking out our status really quick. Right in the middle range of the 4,000 required experience points needed to level up. Also gonna jump back in here really quick and look at the key items. Show off the star ruby that was acquired. Alright, we're ready. More standard fighting. No need to waste magic because there's a pretty good chance that some of these enemies will run away. All that hard work and just for just for the ruby to be eaten. It was nothing more than a snack. And this is a very easily missed area. I know I missed it in my first time playing. head south instead of going straight for the stairs up top. And get yourself a new a new to us kind of weapon, but it's still a downgrade. But the mithril helm is definitely a slight upgrade. Not a huge improvement, but anytime that the warrior can receive a boost to his evasion stat, that is definitely a win. So even though the defense stat, it's only slightly better than the, I think it was the, let me go back and check, I don't want to call it the wrong thing. The previous helmet we were wearing, yeah, the Grand Helm. Even though it's only one defense point higher, that evasion boost is the much more important factor. Just wanted to make sure that was in the last room. Definitely a good information to know. And it's definitely in this moment that you learn that you are not done with the Terra Cavern. We're only about halfway done. And that was the entire point of the Star Ruby. But apparently the Titan or Golem, whichever it really was that Sage's guardian. And in order to actually be able to meet up with the Sage, we had to do what we did and acquire the Star Ruby. Now that that has been accomplished, we have met up with the Sage, as just witnessed. He handed over the Earth Rod, and the Earth Rod is going to be a key item. It's going to play a key role in allowing us to explore into the very heart of the Terra Cavern. But the definite nice thing about having fully explored all of the Terra Cavern that we could access is that now it's just a straight shot to our destination. And we are back in very familiar territory. Back to the Terra Cavern. Back into fights that consume more time than they're worth. $153 experience points is like next to nothing now. But once upon a time, it was a very nice experience. But not anymore. Really? This will get me in a second fight with these things. I guess the game just wants me to really be able to prove my point again. Sometimes it's just better to use your magic to deal damage than to try to inflict the enemy with any kind of, status effect. Because for obvious reasons, if the status altering spell doesn't land on any of them, then that was a complete waste of magic. But at least with a spell like Fire 2, you are guaranteed to not only land the attack on every enemy, but to also deal damage. And this is not the way. For some reason I thought it would. Oh look, another Noma. Lucky me. Okay, good. I was able to get haste cast first. This should be a really easy fight. And it was. It's all about timing, but as stated in the past, you don't have control over any kind of timing. It's always up to the game itself. So sometimes, as has been witnessed before, sometimes the warrior has had his turn and has attacked before the black mage was able to place haste on him. So it's not a waste, but if the fight lingers on, you then have to wait until the next round to truly benefit from the effects of haste. But it is definitely nice when things can play out in the order that you hope that they will. There's really not a lot for me to say about this area since, there we go. This is the right path. I went down one path too soon, but there's really not a lot of new things to say about this area since we have already explored it. Wow, that was a very sudden enemy encounter. The very nice thing though is that the warrior is now to the point that he's easily taken out most of the enemies in one hit. And it definitely helps all the more when it's a critical hit that he just dished out. Alright, bat, come on. Get out of my way, please. Getting ready to take on these Pisco demons. Sorry about that weird bit of a lag. I thought that the live commentary might have dropped out, but it didn't, thankfully. It did not. Alright, so we're back to the place we need to be. Well, not here. I think this is a regular room, yeah. This is the direction I need to go. Back to the same chamber. Where we encountered the vampire. Of course, I've got to take care of these bad guys first. Or I can just run away. And that works for me too. We'll see who can actually cast their spell first. I think it's gonna be Rosa. It only left one. Oh, I love it. The irony. Alright, so as you can tell, this is the vampire's chamber. I didn't bother to come through this door previously since we did not have what we needed. But now that we do, it should automatically no, it will not automatically do it. You have to go in and select the earth rod, and then it does away. It does away with the seal. I was just double checking to make sure that it didn't actually consume the earth rod, and it didn't. The warrior is safely to the point of taking out a Pisco demon by himself, but the monk definitely needs assistance. And yeah, I definitely opted to use a shield before trying to restore health, because I knew that there was a very good chance that Vivi might be hit a second time before Rosa could act again. So in those kind of situations, you're better off to get any kind of protective spell in place. And yes, this may be the last floor of this dungeon. I think it is. And as you all can tell, the game really, it doesn't hold back with the types of enemies being encountered. So this is one of the main reasons why it is very important to try to do a little bit of level grinding. In the upper floors, because this bottom floor does not play around. Oh yes, and an over mage, yeah, you would definitely want to concentrate your attacks on it. Take it out, because they dish out a variety of spells, and their offensive spells are capable of hitting all of the characters at once, much like Fire 2 or Bolt 2. So when they are encountered, make sure to take them out quickly. Alright, so there's a regular staff, nothing of super importance. Unless I'm mistaken, these seem to be trigger fights. So I want to make it a point make it a point to not step back, you know, on the tile directly in front of any treasure chest if that's possible. And blink, I'm not sure if we have encountered that spell yet in any of these spell shops. I don't think we have. Well, actually I take that back. I think we might have. I just didn't get it. But blink, my thought process that must completely left me. It increases evasion. $3,400 gil. I'll take it. And some of these fights through here, if they're all trigger encounters, there's just no avoiding. No avoiding them whatsoever. It selected flee. Let's see if it actually does. It chose it before I could stop it. Nope, it won't. It won't. My cursor got a little crazy there, and before I realized that it had scrolled all the way down to flee, I chose it by mistake. Normally you're able to cancel an action, but as you just witnessed, if it's your bottommost character, you can't. Once you've selected that, you can't backtrack any. That was a good bit of experience though. Didn't catch the actual number, but it was enough to result in a level up. Most definitely heal up after a fight like that. A good bit of money again. I was thinking we might get some type of equipment due to the nature of that fight, but I guess not. Yeah, I don't mind if it's if it's the warrior or the monk in this type of fight that is paralyzed. Just do not paralyze either of the spellcasters, please. Oh man, looks like this maybe maybe a type of vault instead of anything else, because we're just earning money left and right. Yeah, the Sphinx has a naturally high defense stat. As is being witnessed. And it's definitely in fights like these that it comes in handy to be the level that we are. That we have plenty plenty of MP for haste. Good grief. Okay, so almost 600 experience is what's gained. That's still a good chunk and a lot of gil as well. And even more gil here. Wow, a lot of money. Nope. Right back. You're going to have to move. I don't feel like fighting any more sphinxes. That would be the. Oh, I forgot about this trigger. Just another sphinx. It's another. No. Okay, this was. Alright, I'll take this any day over the sphinx. This isn't anywhere as grueling of an encounter as the Sphinx. And what I was about to say just a minute ago before getting in this fight is I'm not sure if you would actually pronounce multiple Sphinx as Sphinxes, as I said, or if they would just be considered a Sphinx. It would remain the same. I don't know. We're out of there. This is a dead end. Oh man, he's trying to pull its head off. Okay, good. There was no need for haste. This bottom floor is definitely laid out in such a way where it's not so much that you have to pay attention to where you're going, but the entryways to each little room is so narrow that if you miss it, that one extra step you have to take can very easily result in a fight. Let me select it. It won't let me select. Okay, cursor. Hold on, let's try this one more. There we go. That's all I'm trying to do. That is literally all I'm trying to do is select the back row. I don't know why that was as challenging as it was. There's those types of fights that spells starting at the Fire 3 level really come in handy. Because Fire 3 very easily, as demonstrated, very easily wipe out the majority of the enemies, which allows your characters to then focus their attacks on the most dangerous enemy. And that's typically the best way to know what monster is the most dangerous of them all. Because if something is able to survive a spell like Fire 3, then yeah, that is your very good indicator. And if I'm not mistaken, the cockatrice are capable of petrifying, which is why I just used a Fire 3 instead of Fire 2, because I don't have time for that. I don't need anybody being petrified. Wasn't sure if that was going to be a trigger encounter or not. I'm sure there's going to be one in here eventually, and yes, there is. And yes, that was thunder, in case anyone heard that, in case my microphone picked that up. And yes, it startled the mess out of me. I did not poop myself, don't worry, but I definitely did jump. There has been no warning from the weather whatsoever. None at all. No little very light thunder rumbling off in the distance, none of that. Just all of a sudden, here I am. Got me so jacked up and confused, I was trying to have our white mage cast a spell when all she needed to do was attack with her weapon. Gotta love Mother Nature. Man, that's all I know. Alright, good old mithril shield. That will definitely come in handy. Once I go to the shield area. Alright, so a pretty good boost to defense. Alright, Bat, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's see how they like Fire 3. As naturally the most dangerous of them all is defeated before Fire 3 is even cast. Of course, why wouldn't it be? But this is very good experience to acquire through all this, and just more money, which gaining money is never a bad thing. However, I would prefer equipment. That would be nice. And we shouldn't be too far off from not only leveling up, but from the warrior and the monk reaching their next hit increase threshold. We require right under 2,900 experience to level up. So that would definitely be nice when both characters are dishing out a little more damage than they are right now. I think we're good. Alright, and I think this is now a dead end. I don't think there's any more rooms on this side of things. Now we just need to backtrack and get back on the correct path. The only way to get turned around and lost in this dungeon is simply forgetting where you have already been. And under normal circumstances that doesn't sound like it would be easy to do, but this dungeon has a particularly nasty habit of looking so much alike from areas that you've already been to. So just as a heads up, I might be making an extra trip around areas that we've already been to, but just bear with me. We will get where we're going eventually. Thankfully, we have plenty of magic, so there's no threat in that regard. Alright, I know we've definitely been that way. So we need to head back south. And we will get there. It's just a matter of cutting through any of the enemies that we encounter along the way. Going to be the main slow down factor. Alright, game. Really going to need you to cooperate. Cooperate and let me get straight to where I'm trying to go. But this is also one of the many factors that I love about this game, because it presents different forms of difficulty, not just in the monsters that are encountered, but in different ways, such as this. Just take this dungeon as an example, because it really is a prime example. The jump from past dungeons being relatively straightforward to now encountering this dungeon that can easily, turn you around and confuse you and waste a little bit of your time and getting onto the correct path. All of those different things didn't exist in previous dungeons, but all of a sudden it is first introduced in this dungeon. So like this game is so unpredictable, and it really does throw a lot of different curveballs at you. Alright. So we don't need to go that way. Come on, see. Okay. Let's see if it'll let me do it simple. There we go. That's all I'm trying to do. Why the very first time I encountered this kind of formation, why it didn't play out that simple, I could not tell you. But at least this go round was much more user friendly. I want to say we need to go to the left from where we currently are, because I think to the right will take us back to the entrance, back to the stairs. Now that I'm free of this fight, I'll be able to test that and see if I'm right. Fire 3 should finish them all off. We shall see, all but the Hilgigus. I'm not surprised, but you can't survive that. even more thunder. But thankfully this one wasn't nearly as bad as the last time. The first clap of thunder was beyond loud. Okay, I think is the key word here, but I think I've finally taken the correct path. Looks like it. Looks like there's the set of stairs. Right before we got in this fight, I think there's a set of stairs in the top left corner of this room we're about to enter. Yep. Alright, so this should be the bottom floor. The lowest most level. This dungeon is not for the faint of heart, and definitely not for those that have not taken the time to level up. This is not the place to try to level grind. At this point, when you reach a story element, a story-driven dungeon, the final level of those types of dungeons, that is not the place to try to level grind. When you get to those locations, you need to be on a mission. You need to be laser focused on getting in, doing what you have to do, and getting out. Because if you try to treat it like prior locations, you can very easily, just like this, get in a dead end. But you can also very easily run out of MP. Alright, here we go. This fight is one for the history books. It's Leech. The very first of the elemental fiends. And he does not hold back. This could very easily and not go in my favor, but it just depends on how quick Rosa is at restoring health, and thankfully she got that in pretty quick. We gotta do it again. There's really no point in trying to do any kind of status altering spells. It really is a matter of getting your attacks in and getting them in quickly. Just like that, Leech bites the dust, but as witnessed, a lot of damage was dished out. So that's why it's so important to level up, because as just witnessed, we are the levels we are, and that was still a relatively close call, especially when Ice 2 was cast. But thankfully, the game is very, very generous and provides a warp or a teleportal in that same room, which allows for instant exit. And eventually we will gain access to magic that grants us that same effect and ability, but it doesn't come until later in the game. But yes, that was Leech. The very first of the elemental fiends. He doesn't play around. He does not play around. And that is one of my first encounters that everyone survived that fight. I have had very similar experiences as what was just experienced, but Leech was not gonna say that it was much more aggressive, but I don't recall. I think it was slow too that was cast at one point. I don't recall any like status altering spells being cast by Leech. I think that it just went on the complete offense. Just went on a complete rampage. And I've had it where Ice 2 has been cast like 2 or 3 times in a row, if you could imagine. And there's just no way to recover from that. I mean, someone, at least one of your characters is going to, be knocked out as a result of that. Your white mage can't keep up that quickly. Not enough hit points can be restored. Even with having, I think it's a heal 2. It's just too much, too fast. But thankfully that was not experienced. Over 150,000 gil, good grief. Wow. Okay, so now that the Earth Crystal has had I probably won't save that one just yet. Actually, no, I will do it. I will keep file 1 up to date. But now that the Earth Crystal has regained its light, we have more investigating to do. We've got to go back into the wide open world and check other locations out, because we are still in the dark as to where we need to go, where each of the other 3 remaining crystals' origin points are. So that's currently where we are with the overall story. And that is where we will be picking things up and moving forward into the future in the next episode. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode. LP Guru, signing out.